I have a problem. It's not a bad problem, but it kind of poses a mental exercise on how to repair this without screwing it up. This is a rusty 16 Axelson, and I've been messing around with that handle right there ever since it came from Louisiana to Texas. You notice these levers have threaded portions 7/8 by 14, and these handles all screw into them, and they have a spring-loaded plunger that indicates into that hole. There's one down there and one here and one over here, a few on the apron. Well, they're nice handles, kind of rusty. They're supposed to pull away, but they won't. They're stuck. Now, I could put this in there and take and bang on it or heat it up and try not to mess it up. Actually, these have been sitting in a plastic bottle of Varsol for about 4 or 5 months now. You can see there has that little ring, silver ring around the outside. Well, that slides on that shaft. Spring goes in the middle of it, and I want to get it out of there without distorting it or even making it to where it's too hard to pull in and out friction-wise, beating on it. I put this in a ultrasonic cleaner with Varsol for 2 hours. No help. So stick around. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Today I'm going to try to use hydraulic pressure to force this sleeve off of this threaded portion. Now, best idea I've come up with so far, take this piece of scrap aluminum and drill a hole in it and thread it for this 7/8 14 so that I could screw that onto there and then through drill it and put a Zerk fitting on this end. So either use my electric grease gun or probably my hand will be better because it doesn't have a pressure relief valve on it. This isn't going to be pretty, it's just one-off thing and then back to the scrap heap it goes. Just going to drill a hole in it, thread it, drill another hole in it, thread it. Bob's your uncle. Haven't used my 20-inch in a while. Haven't used anything in a while, been too busy buying machines and working. Said this just gonna be down and dirty, no indication, no nothing. See if the baby will start up. like to power tap. Usually I put it into a low gear. And the secret is to do not let the tap be so tight in the chuck that it breaks. You know, you need it firm, but you don't want it to bind up on you and snap off. So when you start seeing it rotating in the chuck, stop. Now I use an old chuck for this, one that's been used for this for a long time. I don't care if I mess up the jaws in this one. Let me get some fluid and we'll start tapping it. I like this tap magic for aluminum. Put some in there. I even like the way it smells. The wife can't stand it. All right. Now, if I was going to make this a proper job, I would have beveled that beforehand, but man, this is hopefully only 4 or 5 times to be thrown in and then thrown away. I just didn't waste the time. And see how easy that screws in. Well, I'm back at it. I was really trying to use these grease zerks from a John Deere tractor, but I don't have a plug tap of that size. So I wanted to get this done. So off to the store I went, and the only thing I could find was at Lowe's. And it's quite a bit smaller, but I do have the taps for this. And my plan is to try this one. If it doesn't work, I'll get another tap tomorrow for that other one. This is a straight thread on it, 1/4 by 28. Uses a number 3 drill, and I'm going to drill a hole, tap it. I might face it off. I don't know. I haven't messed with this tool holder in a long time. Let's see what it does. care of all the drilling operations. So now, got a hole in there, number 3. We'll tap that. I just faced it off real quick. Didn't need anything more than this. Alright, I ran out in the big shop and got a little drill press vise. I stuck my piece down in here and I'm going to hand tap this 1/4 by 28 thread. I don't have a single spiral point in my whole shop. Should be shot for that. So we're just going to use a regular tap. This is something a friend of mine made me maybe 35, 40 years ago. A little tap guide, just 3/4 inch aluminum, and it's got a hole for every size. So you can put your tap in it, and that aligns it as it's going into the work. You put this flat piece on the surface like that, put your tap in, and that helps keep it straight up and down. Simplest little tool I've seen in a long time, and I haven't seen a lot of people using these. Now, I know I wasn't the first one to think of it, or he wasn't the first one to think of it, but especially nowadays, tools are pretty different compared to what they used to be. You could use this, a lot of times I do a tap with an electric drill. Spiral point taps are probably something that I used to. When spiral point taps came into my life, it was a great day. My friend was a shop teacher, and he showed me one of those years ago. Before, you know, you have to go this way, then back, and the spiral points are flat wonderful. If you're using old taps like this, wise up. You know, the name for them is gun taps. What they do is when you're threading it in here, the threads are being formed and cut, and all the shavings are being pushed out ahead of it. So you can only use them really on through holes. But if you've got a blind hole, you can use a spiral flute tap. And what it does is it brings the chips out this way. So you don't have to go back and forth and break them. You know, this is a very fine thread, aluminum, with some good tap magic. This is easy to thread. I'm going pretty deep because that is a straight Zerk fitting. So I want it to go as far in as it'll go. Shame I couldn't use that John Deere. I got a bunch of them. That'll be good. Pretty good. Now I gotta go get a little wrench to fit it and a grease gun, and I'll be right back. Okay, doke. Got a wrench, tighten that grease herd up there good. Now I need a handle. Like I said, these have all been sitting in PB Blaster for quite a while. Still were locked up. Ultrasonic didn't work. Yanking on them. Didn't want to put them on the lathe and do it because I figured I'd break the doggone thing. So now I'm going to screw this in. See what the grease pump will do for us. Now I'm going to point that away from me, because I don't trust it. To make it even better, I'm going to cover it up with a little paper towel. And we're going to see if there's any grease in this thing. Alright, locked on. Oh heck, it can't be that bad. Well, that little grease hurt is not helping matters. Okay. Maybe I pushed on it a little bit. My good electric grease. That's so I can push up against it. Nada. It's got a sneaky suspicion it's that cheap grease zerk too, but there may not be enough pressure in this. Well, let's try one that has a cheaper grease in it, shall we? Just gotta find one. Well, I can't find another grease gun. I just had one working on the Toolmaster. Only thing I can think of is Don must have hawked it to go buy more machine tools. I've created a monster. I have another idea. I think that this little bitty zerk fitting is cheaply made and is never going to stand up to the pressure. So tomorrow I'm going to go get another tool in my arsenal and see if we can make that work. We will see. Seeing how round one was an abysmal failure, I've decided to try something else. I located a tap for these bigger Zerk fittings and got rid of this little tiny one that I got at Home Depot, or excuse me, Lowe's. At least they had something, but it wasn't good enough either. So changed the grease gun. Hopefully this will pop on there and stay and not just spew grease out everywhere like the other one did. Let's give it a shot. Well, seems grease is going in, coming out a little bit out there. Boy, that thing's stuck. I have to see if I can tighten that up some. I'm putting this on there to try to protect the knurling a little bit. I'm going to my whole thing. I didn't want to mess up the well, let it slip a little bit. Let's see if that sealed it some more. Not that much. Well, we're going to go for plan 2-A now. See if I got an O-ring somewhere that will fit in there tight enough to seal that. Want this O-ring kit so I can have a good chance of having enough seals to get that tool master up and running right. Let's give that a shot. So far this handle's been in a PB blaster for about 3-4 months now. And it's been in the ultrasonic, heated up and everything, so everything's short of mechanical. It's coming out. Just for the heck of it, let's try another one. See if it... That's taking a considerable amount of pressure. Pretty tight. Well, the only other thing I know to do is hook these up to a hydraulic press. I'm afraid that if these little fittings here can't contain the pressure, it's just going to get sprayed in oil. I know you wouldn't want that to happen to me. What do we do? These things are rusted so bad that fortunately hydraulic pressure alone isn't going to get them out of there. Maybe if I heated it up and did that, it'd be okay, but I have my doubts about that too. The way these are made, I don't know for sure if I can't put it in this fixture like this and tap on it with a hammer and see if it will compress and break loose. But we're getting to the point to where I'm afraid we're going to have to start resorting to mechanical. Well, that looks like it's flush with the edge of this handle here. And it looks like I did move it. Let's try plan C. Retired my body hammer, went back to proper ball peen hammers. Here's what I'll try to do. I'll turn this way. I'll put these little chisels in here, mainly because they got a wedge. There's just not much in there. What do you think? Think we're making any headway? Screw that down a little bit more. Let's take it out and look at it. I think we made a little headway. See how it's starting to pick up there? Yeah. Well, I think we've moved that almost 1/8 of an inch. Just may have to go to bigger wedges to get it to move some more, but oh, what the heck. Get a few bigger wedges in there. That moved it a lot. And that even moved it some, so it is freeing up. There it goes. There we go. What a mess in there. Well, it took a combination of plan 1, 2, 2A, and 3 to get this done. But there's one off without damaging it. Great. Let's see about getting this part out. Rust does a lot of damage to these machines. It doesn't look pitted. So I think we could save that one. Pretty good. Okay. Put you together.